येषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवतीम् उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठकी. Hare Krishna. Grantaraj Shrimad Bhagavatam ki jai. So we are reading Shrimad Bhagavatam, 3rd canto, 5th chapter, titled as Sri Vidurji's talk with Maitreya Rishi, text number 26. Shloka is on your screen. You may repeat after me. Kala Vrutya Tu Mayayam Guna Mayam Adokshajaha Purushena Atmana Purushena Atma Bhutena Viryam Adatta Viryavan. So I'll recite the whole shloka for benefit of all of us. Kalavritya tu mayayam Gunamaya Madokshaja Purushena Atma Bhutena Viryam Adatta Viryaman. Translation. The Supreme Living Being, in his feature as the Transcendental Purusha Incarnation, who is the Lord's plenary expansion, impregnates the material nature of three modes, and thus, by the influence of eternal time, the living entities appear. So here, Maitreya Rishi is describing about Lord's energy, and the creation of the material world by the Lord's energy. So, upon inquiry by Vidurji, Maitreya Rishi is very happy to discuss the Srimad Bhagavatam with Vidurji, and the Srimad Bhagavatam is the knowledge was given to Maitreya Rishi as well as to Uddhavji by Lord Krishna before Lord Krishna departed. So, Maitreya Rishi, in the previous two shlokas, he mentioned that before the creation of this whole material world, or even in fact anything created, Lord Krishna was by himself. He was alone. He is the undisputed proprietor of everything, and everything is owned by Lord Krishna himself. And then Lord Krishna expanded further. He expanded himself into the Balram and then Chaturbhuj Swarupa, four expansions, Vasudev, Aniruddha, Pradyumna and Shankarshan. And then further expansions of Lord. And from that comes the Mahavishnu or Kananodakshay Vishnu, Garbhodakshay Vishnu. From Garbhodakshay Vishnu comes all the planetary system, all the universes. And each and every universe, there is creation of living entity via Brahmaji. And then each and every living entity, Lord enters in that as a Paramatma, as a Kshirodakshay Vishnu. So this external, the material world, there are two types of world. One is material and one is spiritual. So there are two types of world existing. So material world is this Jagata, which we see with the naked eye, we can see it. But the spiritual world is far, far away from this material world. And the spiritual world is 3/4 of the creation of by Lord Krishna, while only 1/4 creation is material world. And material world runs under the energy of Lord Krishna, which is called Maya Shakti, which we learned yesterday. So, this whole material world is under the authority of Maya. Maya is the external or illusionary Shakti, energy of Lord. And Lord is above and beyond all this. Lord Krishna is very, very powerful. So now what happens is here it is described that once all the living entities are created, then all living entities are impregnated with, what is that? Three modes of material nature. So then, once everybody is created, then everyone has these three modes: Sattva Guna, Rajaguna, and Tamo Guna. And then there is the influence of eternal time. So these are two factors which are acting upon us all the time. What is that? There are two powerful factors which control upon us. One is time and another is guna. Kala and guna. Kala means samay. This samay is controlling us, the time is controlling us. We cannot go beyond certain time, like our body has a limitation. Maybe 10 years, 50 years, 100 years, but it cannot go beyond. So that is limitation of time and then limitation of the gunas. So either you are in sattva guna, either you are in raja guna, or you are in tamo guna, or you can be combination of either of the modes. But you cannot be above and beyond. The gunas are always going to act upon us as long as you are in the material world. But if you go to the spiritual world, then in the spiritual world there is no concept as time, because everything is eternal there. You understand eternal? Eternal means there is no beginning, no end. It is always there. So once we leave this body and we go to spiritual world, then there is no death or no birth. We are eternal there. While in the material world there is a birth date and death expiry date. In the material world, it is covered or controlled by Maya Shakti of Krishna. So that is why we have Sattva Guna, Raja Guna, and Tamo Guna. But in the spiritual world, there is Shuddha Sattva Guna, pure goodness. Right? So here, thus Vidurji is explaining that there are two kinds of world, and one kind of world is this material world, where living entities are always taking birth and death.
The potency of the Lord is in the Sattva but in the Tajoguna and Rajoguna.
Tamoguna and Rajaguna are always there. Sattoguna is also there. Most of the time we are in Rajaguna or Tamoguna. Okay, purport by Srila Prabhupada. The offspring of any living being is born after the father impregnates the mother with the semen. And living entity floating in the semen of father takes the shape of mother's form. Similarly, mother material nature cannot produce any living entities from her material elements unless and until she is impregnated with living entities by Lord Himself. That is the mystery of the generation of the living entities. This impregnating process is performed by the first Purusha incarnation, Karnadaksha Vishnu. Simply by glance over the material nature, the whole matter is accomplished. We should not understand the process of impregnation by the personality of Godhead in terms of our concept of sex. The omnipotent Lord can impregnate just by His eyes. Therefore, He is called all-potent. Each and every part of His transcendental body can perform each and every function of other parts. This is confirmed in Brahma Samhita. Angani yasha saklendriya vrittimanti. In Bhagavad Gita 14.3, also the same principle is confirmed. Mama yonir mahad brahma tasmin garbham adhyami aham. When the cosmic creation is manifested, the living entities are directly supplied from the Lord. They are never product of material nature. Thus, no scientific advancement of material science can ever produce a living being. That is the whole mystery of the material creation. The living entities are foreign to matter, and thus they cannot be happy unless they are situated in the same spiritual life as the Lord. The mistaken living entities, out of forgetfulness of his original condition of life, unnecessarily waste their time to become happy in the material world. The whole Vedic process is to remind one of essential feature of life. The Lord offers the conditioned soul a material body for his so-called enjoyment. But if one does not come to his senses and enter into the spiritual consciousness, the Lord again puts him in unmanifested condition as it existed in the beginning of the creation. The Lord is described herein as Viryavar, the greatest potent being, because he impregnates the material nature with innumerable living entities who are conditioned from time immemorial. So here Srila Prabhupada is very nicely explaining that Krishna is our eternal father. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Pita aham dhata, mata dhata pitamaha. So Krishna is our father, Krishna is our mother. Everything is Krishna, because from Krishna comes everything. All the material nature also is being created by Krishna. This body is given to us by Krishna through the material nature, through my external Shakti of Lord. And then each and every living entity, Lord enters as a Kshirodakshai Vishnu. And one of the question answered is that why Krishna gave the body to everybody. So everybody gets the body according to their karma and desires in the past life. Okay? And we all want to enjoy material things. So that is why we are always given the body. The day we think that I do not want to enjoy the material things anymore, will not be given body. Once we are satisfied that okay, all finished, no more body now, I just want to go to Krishna Loka, then we can go to Krishna Loka. But until death, we all have material desires. People have got a desire of money, power, wealth, beauty, name, fame, all these things. So here Srila Prabhupada is saying that we are wasting our time to become happy in this world. We want to become happy by enjoying this body. But we can never be happy by this body, because this body by nature is a source of problems. This body has muscle, bone, and they are made for give you pain. Right? Can a fish be happy outside water? A fish cannot be happy outside the water. If you keep the fish in a pot of milk, will fish be happy? Yes or no? Can fish survive in milk? No. Fish will not survive in milk. Fish needs water. Similarly, why? Because the fish is made for water. Fish cannot remain on the ground. Fish cannot remain in the water. It cannot. If you put a juice, nice juice, say carrot juice, and put the fish will die, because fish cannot drink the carrot juice or apple juice or orange juice. Fish only needs water, pure water. Otherwise the fish will die. Similarly, our Atma is designed to be with Paramatma. We will never be happy in this body. This Sharira is the source of all the miseries. More we try to get the happiness through this body, more we are creating trouble for ourselves. It is just like an illusion. Like if you go in the desert and there is a mirage, and then you go near the mirage and then there is no water, and then you go further. So, more we try to be happy in this world by material means, more we will create a problem for ourselves. The solution to the problem in this material world, the solution to the problem is a greater problem than the solution itself. You understand? For example, our problem was, let's say, transportation. We want to go from one city to another city. So then the problem was transportation. How can we reach early? So then we invented the vehicles. But the vehicles are a greater cause of problem than the original problem itself. Why? Because these vehicles have created so many pollution, so many accidents, so many things are happening because of the vehicles.
The most younger than the desert.
Yeah, so sometimes we think that okay, we will be happy if we go from one place to another. For example, from say a country like India, we all came here and we thought we will be happy, but the problem here is the winter, the economics, and the so many things, right? So original problem was that little bit of inconvenience there, but we have created a bigger problem here by finding another solution. People who are not married, they think that they will be happy after marriage. But then when you get married, then you have to look after the house and the family and children. That is a bigger problem than the original problem itself, right or wrong? Because then you have to spend more money, you have to earn more, and then the problems are continuing. So, more here is saying that Srila Prabhupada is saying that the mistaken living beings, out of forgetfulness of this original condition of life, unnecessary waste their time trying to become happy in this world. But this our Vedic culture, it reminds that our eternal identity is to be with Krishna, and we can only be happy if we always associate with Krishna. You see, Krishna or the spiritual life is inside the body. शरीर के अंदर है वो आध्यात्मिक जगत है, और शरीर के बाहर जो है वो भौतिक जगत है। समझ में आ रहा है? जैसे कि हम ये मंदिर के अंदर हैं तो हम अभी आध्यात्मिक जगत में हैं, ये हॉल के अंदर, यहाँ पे कोई माया का प्रभाव नहीं है। लेकिन जैसे ही हम ये गेट से बाहर निकलते हैं तो माया का प्रभाव चालू हो जाता है। जहाँ तक आप भगवान के सानिध्य में हैं तब तक माया का प्रभाव नहीं होता है, लेकिन जैसे ही आप इसके बाहर निकलते हैं तो फिर आप जैसे कनाडा का एक बाउंड्री है, वो बाउंड्री के जैसे बाहर जाते हैं तो दूसरे कोई कंट्री का प्रभाव चालू हो जाता है। जैसे बॉर्डर क्रॉस करते तो अमेरिका हो जाता है, ऐसा एक मीटर इधर और एक मीटर इधर। तो वैसे ही हम जहाँ तक भगवान के कार्य में रहते हैं तो वो आध्यात्मिक जगत है, और जैसे ही भगवान का कार्य हमने छोड़ दिया तो क्या आ गया? भौतिक जगत आ गया। और जितना हम भौतिक जगत में जाएंगे उतना दुख बढ़ते जाएगा। जितना हम आध्यात्मिक जगत में रहेंगे, भगवान के लिए काम करते रहेंगे, तो दुख का एहसास नहीं हो जाएगा। जैसे हमारे प्रभुपाद जी थे, प्रभुपाद जी until he died, he left the body, he was in service of Krishna. So even though his body was in inconvenience, Prabhupada ji was not in inconvenience. Prabhupada ji was serving Krishna, and serving Krishna is the spiritual world. Even if we leave this body and go to Golok Vrindavan Dham, what are we going to do? We are going to serve Krishna, nothing else. तो जब तक हम भगवान की सेवा करते रहेंगे तब तक हम स्पिरिचुअल वर्ल्ड में हैं। भगवान का जो देखिए, वी कैन नॉट इमिटेट, किसी को कॉपी नहीं करना है। अगर कॉपी किया तो आप फेल हो जाएंगे। कॉपी नहीं करना है। प्रभुपाद जी 2 घंटा सोते थे, इसलिए आप 2 घंटा सोएंगे तो हार्ट डिजीज हो जाएगा आपको। तो ऐसा नहीं करना है। जो भगवान की बात अलग है, प्रभुपाद जी की बात अलग है, आपकी और मेरी बात अलग है। हर एक आदमी एक इंडिविजुअल है। तो हर एक ने अपना जो शरीर जो है, अपना जो पैकेज मिला है ना, उसके हिसाब से काम करना है। जैसे आपका शरीर एक प्रकार का है तो आपको वो शरीर के हिसाब से काम करना है। आप 10 किलो वजन उठा सकेंगे, 100 किलो नहीं उठा पाएंगे, क्योंकि आपका शरीर बना नहीं है। कोई पहलवान है, बड़ा शक्तिवान है, तो वो 100 किलो भी उठा लेगा। आप 100 किलो उठाएंगे तो बीमार हो जाएंगे। इसलिए हमारा जो शरीर मिला है, जो हमारी शक्ति है, वो हिसाब से सेवा करते रहना है। तो शक्ति के बाहर जाके सेवा किए तो फिर तकलीफ हो जाएगी ज़्यादा। किसी को कॉपी नहीं करना है। प्रभुपाद जी 2 घंटा सोते थे, मैं भी 2 घंटा सोऊंगा तो मैं पागल हो जाऊंगा। समझ आ रहा है? देखिए, हर एक की वही बोल रहा हूँ ना कि हम किसी को क्रिटिसाइज नहीं कर सकते। जैसे कि कोई माता जी है, उनका शरीर अलग है, लेडीज का शरीर अलग है, तो उनका डिमांड अलग रहता है शरीर का। पुरुष का शरीर अलग रहता है, बच्चों का शरीर अलग रहता है। तो कोई किसी के शरीर की रिक्वायरमेंट वैसी है तो हम उनको क्यों क्रिटिसाइज करें? वो उसका काम कर रहा है, करने दो, हमें हमारा काम करना है ना। हमें किसी को और कुछ करना नहीं है। अगर कोई समझो किसी को कोई प्रॉब्लम है, शरीर का बीमारी है समझो कोई, तो हमें क्या मालूम पड़ सकता है? हम नहीं जान सकते किसी का। इसलिए हमें किसी और की तरफ नहीं देखना है। वी हैव टू डू आवर बेस्ट, नेवर कॉपी अदर्स। किसी को why do we want to trouble others? We just keep on doing what we have been asked to do, which is get up early and do our japa mala, chanting, and read Bhagavad